The Ottonian dynasty created many stunning pieces of artwork and architecture, and while they were all beautiful, none of them reflect the historical importance of their kingdom as well as the Essen Cross. It represents the powerful lineage of the royal family, the Ottonians' love for luxury, the revival of Roman religious traditions, and the creation of an entirely new imperial style. It all began in 876 on the grassy hilltops of the northern village of Memleben, when the future King Henry the Fowler was born. His first taste of power began in 1912 after his father's death, as he went on to take his title of the Duke of Saxony. 7 years later, in 1919, his fellow German dukes elected Henry to be their king. Henry, his son, his grandson, and his great-grandsons, all named Otto, would rule the Ottonian dynasty from 1919 to 1024. Henry's son, Otto I, also known as Otto the Great, became king in 936. He idolized two people, his father, Henry the Fowler, and Charlemagne. Charlemagne was the ruler of the Franks from 748 to 814. His mantra was Renovatio Romani Imperi, which means the revival of the Roman Empire. His ultimate goal was to bring back Roman aesthetics, traditions, and religious practices. Otto would try to follow in Charlemagne's footsteps, working to re-establish the Christian Roman Empire. Otto married Saint Adelaide of Italy, adding northern Italy to the Ottonian dynasty. They moved to the most Roman city you can think of, Rome. They were excited to live there together in a unified society. The Ottonians, however, struggled with the Italian addition. They did not like them. Since Otto lived far away in Rome, he felt incapable of handling the situation. He turned to his idol and thought, what would Charlemagne do? Otto, like Charlemagne, turned to his family and the church for some much-needed help. Otto decided he needed to love the Pope, and he wanted to be his best friend. By 962, Pope John XII crowned Otto and Saint Adelaide of Italy as the Holy Emperor and Empress of Rome. Along with their passion for Roman aesthetics, Ottonians loved Byzantine's luxury goods and craftsmanship. Otto wanted their gold, enamel, ivory, and textiles. He wanted it all. There was one problem. Byzantines and the Germans hated each other. He resolved their issues by arranging a marriage between Byzantine princess Theophanu and his son Otto II. Otto the Great died after the wedding, leaving his son and the princess to take the throne. Their daughter and granddaughter of Otto I, Mathilde, is the reason for the creation of the Essen Cross. Following the footsteps of her family members, Mathilde was heavily involved in the church. She was the abbess of Essen Abbey from 973 to 1011. That means she was the head nun. She oversaw everything for the abbey: the buildings, relics, manuscripts, politics, language, education. Mathilde was a busy boss lady. Of course she was. Her father was the Holy Roman Emperor. Having the king as your father comes with a lot of perks, like the ability to spend fortunes on artistic treasures. She would donate her art pieces to be displayed in the Essen Abbey. Much of her art was created by high-skilled Ottonian goldsmiths. They were known for their intricate metalwork and luxurious pieces. In her pile of treasure, there were 3 stunning Latin crosses: the cross of Otto and Mathilde, the cross of Mathilde, and the cross of Essen. The most famous of those is the cross of Otto and Mathilde. Mathilde donated this cross in memory of her brother after he died. This cross is proof that they were not only held for religious significance, but also symbolized the powerful Ottonian monarchy. The Essen Cross, also known as the St. Cross, is covered in rich gold leaf on the front and gilded copper on the back. In the center, there is a plaque of Jesus Christ being crucified. Next to him stands Mary and Joseph, and above everyone lies a sun and a moon. At the end of each arm of the cross are more plaques. They depict symbols of the four evangelists. John is on the top. He is an eagle. He represents a figure of the sky. Matthew is on the bottom as a winged man. He represents Christ's human nature. Luke is on the right as a winged bull. He represents a figure of strength. Mark is on the left as a winged lion, and he represents a figure of courage. The details on the wings, as well as the size of the plaques, were created by highly skilled painters. The border of the Latin cross is equally as stunning. It has 24 enamels, gemstones, and pearls. It includes intricate metalwork known as filigree, and to top it off, it also has an engraved onyx gemstone. These were known as cameos. The cameo of the Essen Cross is a depiction of the head of Medusa. Mathilde chose the cameo to reference Psalm 91:13. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder. The young lion and the dragon trample under feet. There are many different meanings to this biblical quote. Most agree it means you will be saved from all evil and will be able to overcome it. The dragon can be referenced to Satan, and the young lion as Christ. In an article from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, art historian Madeline Glennon wrote about Medusa. She said, quote, "She represents a dangerous threat meant to deter other dangerous threats, an image of evil to repel evil." Medusa's cameo on the cross was a religious choice to protect themselves from Satan, sin, and immorality. There are many unknowns about the Essen Cross. The earliest evidence of how they were used is in the Belgian manuscript Liber Ordinarius, dated in the late 13th century. They wrote a description of crosses being used for processionals, though they never visually explain what the crosses look like. Processional crosses were carried by an important religious leader. As he walked with the cross, the rest of the congregation would follow him. They believe that if they follow the cross, they in turn are following Jesus. It makes sense to art historians that they were processional crosses, since they are too beautiful to be used for anything else. The exact date of the creation of the Essen Cross is unknown. It is assumed to be from the year 1000, because the block ends of the cross look similar to the popular block-like columns, also known as cubic capitals. The other two crosses are also created around the year 1000. The Essen Cross was last used in 1991 at the ceremony for Dr. Hubert Luth, the second Bishop of Essen. It currently resides today in the Essen Cathedral Treasury. The only times it was ever moved was in 1920 because of a revolt and World War II. The Essen Cathedral Treasury is home to around 30 Gothic works of art, such as relics, crosses, chalices, brooches, and manuscripts. They hold the most important collection of Ottonian, Salic, goldsmith art in the entire world. The art, architecture, and style from the Ottonian dynasty provides necessary information about the transition between the Carolingian Empire and the Romanesque architecture of the 11th and 12th centuries. The Essen Cross is a masterpiece of the Ottonian goldsmiths. It represents the history of the Ottonian dynasty, the kingdom's drama for luxurious goods, the revival of the Christian Roman Empire, their love for the Christian faith, their appreciation for quality craftsmanship, and most of all, it represents the Ottonians.